I believe that there's certain doctors who don't necessarily have your best interest at heart.
Let me draw a line real quick, because I'm not discounting the medical industry and the malpractice that occurs.
And I think I kept choosing doctors who didn't care whether I was well or not. And that helped me form my opinion or my feelings toward doctors and medical care. Were you about to say something though?
Yeah, I mean, because I was gonna say I'm not so let me draw a line real quick, because I'm not discounting the medical industry and the malpractice that occurs in the medical industry. I know it's there, and I also know it can be difficult or intimidating to try and find a physician that essentially you vibe with, that you feel like actually has your health and well-being in, that is their primary role when they have that time with you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm lucky, because every medical professional who I currently see looks like me.
See, that's great.
So, and part of that was because I think my choice of a primary care physician, I had the ability, when I chose him, I was able to see a picture. And okay, so right there was some representation that resonated with me. Because now, when we have a conversation about certain things, and we talk about how Black men have more testosterone, which leads us to having, a higher risk for feeding a cancer, those are conversations we might not have if my doctor didn't look like me.
Never heard that fact before, so good plug.
Or the fact that, he'll flat out tell me, like, BMI is trash. Like, I don't even think about it when we're talking about your weight, because it doesn't take into account this, and this. As another physician might say, technically, if we look at that BMI chart, I'm overweight.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm no Adonis, right? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But overweight is a stretch, right? My height and build can hold some pounds, but BMI chart says I'm overweight. But I can have a real conversation and he'll say, I'm not worried about your weight because X, Y, and Z.
Right.
We can talk through family history comfortably. Now, don't get me wrong, this also took time, right? But let's face it, most of us don't know our family health history. You might have know how somebody died, but we don't know like what were the causes of it, right? But I was going back to, so with picking that primary care physician, when I had to be sent to see a cardiologist because of my cholesterol, we were talking about what should be my next steps. My cardiologist is a young brother who looked like me. When I had to go get a test done on what is it called? I got a lump on my shoulder. It's non-cancerous, whatever. But I had to get a test done to make sure that it wasn't cancerous. Who did the test? Another brother who looked like me.
Okay.
Right? I have my dentist, right? My dentist is a brother who looks like me. I had to get some orthodontal work. Who did he refer me to? A sister. Like, it was just so.
Okay, you found a network.
Yes, that one decision, right? The one decision, and I know that that's not gonna happen every time. But when you make a conscious decision to say, okay, I want to be able to continue to go to this person, and I want to continue to have conversation, not just say somebody prescribe me something or tell me what's on a chart or whatever. Who that individual is makes a ton of difference.
It absolutely does.
And being able to have those conversations have led me to have a network of medical professionals who I can all have like a real conversation with. Like my cardiologist, we was talking about, because they was like, you need to take a statin. Like, listen, I've seen people come in here, 35, 40 years old. Dude runs 10 miles a day, but he's got clogged arteries. And he wouldn't have known that if he didn't come out here. It's like you can be doing everything right and it could be genetic.
Yeah.
The doctor that I was talking to, he was like, I take a statin. He was like, it's 6 cardiologists in this building. We all take them. Like, why do y'all just take a pill? Because we know that if we take this pill, we reduce the chance of heart disease. Really? So wait. Wow. So the same pill you're telling me to take, you take. Yes. Well, what about this? I've heard about this natural. Yeah, I heard about it too. It's like I've done some research. There's not enough evidence to say that it actually helps. I would still say take the pill, and then he brought it just once again, having a relationship, right? So he's like, you deal with numbers, right? Yeah. I'm gonna give you some numbers. He gave me some numbers. All right. That you speaking my language. Say less.
Said everything you need to hear.
Yep.
Man, you talking about pills and stuff, that you bringing that up. I say I'm a documentarian. I've been holding on to this bottle of pills and this little sample pack for documentary purposes, because the last time I saw doctors, one doctor, first time I saw him, I was out on work on disability because I was having a breakdown.
Okay.
First real breakdown. First time I had to just step out of work because everything was going wrong in my life in terms of, starting from up here in the head. And going to a therapist. Therapist said, all right, you should go see a doctor. You should get some, check your melatonin levels. Doctor first told me, there's no such thing as a melatonin test. I was like, well, my therapist said there was. I said, no, there's no such thing as a test. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to eat that. But he said, but your blood pressure's high. So he gave me these blood pressure medication. I saw that. And I remember this is the same doctor I went to when I wanted to quit smoking about 7 years earlier. He put me on this quit smoking medication called Shantix. Didn't warn me about any side effects or anything, and I didn't think to read any side effects. I just figured it's a doctor. I trust him. Took the pills and had a psychotic episode. Almost. I almost didn't make it back from Vegas. I'll say that. I went to Vegas and almost didn't make it back. So when I told him about that when I came back, he's like, oh, okay. No emotional response, anything. I don't remember any response from him other than that. I stopped taking it, and I kept smoking for all those years. Just it was left at that. He wasn't invested. So when he gave me these pills, something told me I need to do something different. So I didn't pop one of these pills. I haven't even cracked this container open. What I did was I just said for a couple weeks, because I had a follow-up appointment scheduled for 2 weeks. So I remembered a little bit of Tai Chi stuff. So I tried doing some Tai Chi movements and just focused on breathing for 2 weeks. And that was about the only real change I made in my lifestyle. Went back to him 2 weeks later. He checked my blood pressure. He's like, so how's the medication working? I said, I didn't take it. He's like, but your blood pressure, you don't need it now. So that shook my confidence in him. And also between those 2 appointments, I had spoken to my therapist again, and she told me the name of the test to give him for the melatonin. So I was like, look, my therapist said there is a test. Here's the name of the test. He said, look, even if there's a test, I wouldn't know how to read it. So that was my hint to go switch to another doctor. This doctor, that first doctor, didn't look like me. Second doctor didn't look like me either. Different nationality, but he was recommended by a friend, a brother who was a friend who said, he had great experiences with him. So I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe this is the fix. Still going through the depression. So what he does in my first visit is he gives me this. So first visit to him gives me a sample pack for some depression medication. And as you see, that hasn't been opened either. Just the fact that medication was thrown at me so quickly, I think gave me and because I'd had that bad experience, just really, really gave me a fear, I think, of doctors. And that's something I've had to work my way through and get over and get myself to the point that I'm like, I just got to do it right this time. And I got to do a much better job of finding them. I know back in those days, you didn't have the photos
Yep.
of
Yep.
the doctors that were available. You might have been, may have been able to find out the nationality, but I think photos may have made a difference.
How's it
But I
working?
also
Yep.
think there's something in my approach that I've got to look at and evaluate, just on the accountability side too, and look at how I'm communicating with the professionals and see if there's something there as well. Because I really feel like there's got to be a fix for this where I can get the type of assistance and support that I need and care that I need,
Yeah.
because too many other people are getting it. So I'm
Yeah.
open to it, but it's just kind of sharing the journey, because I wonder how many other people have had journeys that are somewhat similar or something else that has experiences that have turned them off, which is
Yeah.
another reason why I'm doing this pod too, is because I want to hear other people's experiences.
Yeah. And to juxtapose your experience about medication, because at the time, right? So in my background, or I was licensed to sell life insurance, right? So I'd seen how life insurance premiums change when you're on medication,
Yeah.
particularly for um like for your heart. So a statin, any kind of statin, right? So you have a statin, and then if I'm taking a life insurance policy for you, and I ask you what medications that you take, you say, I take rosuvastatin, I take 20 milligrams every day. I put that down on your application. Underwriter gets it. Now, this is a whole different subject. This is a whole different tangent, but life insurance is a little antiquated. But they
Mm-hmm.
get it. It comes back and it's not maybe like a standard rating or an excellent health rating. It might be substandard. So now the life insurance that I was trying to get for you and your family, that, in the case of something bad happening, to make sure they're taken care of, your premiums are now higher than what we thought they were going to be. And
Mm-hmm.
now, you know, either you may not want to take on that premium, or it could be too expensive, whatever the case may be. So in my mind, I had a negative connotation regarding medication. Don't like it, right?
Ah, okay.
So working with my primary care physician, we talked about my cholesterol, and he would say, "Hey, we need to watch it. It's high. It's this, that, and the third. And hey, change your habits. Da, 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 do all these things." And I'm okay. I'll do that. I'll do that. So he didn't go right to, you need to take a pill. Hey, let's try some lifestyle changes. Can you do this? I can. All right, we'll
See.
check it again. Right. 6 months later, we check it. Not a lot of movement. So this went on for 3.5, maybe 4 years.
Wow.
So 3.5, 4 years, he's like, all right, Malcolm, we've been trying to do it without, doing anything. We talked about, a statin 2 years ago. You didn't want to take it. And, you changed your, you've done the things, you're exercising, you're eating this, da, 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 da. Look, I'm just telling you, like, I think you need to go see a cardiologist. We want to make sure that there is no clogged arteries. One, two, I want you to get some more information about this particular medication. All right.
See.
So this isn't visit one where he's like, you have high cholesterol, nothing else we could do, take a pill. Your cholesterol is high. Let's see if you can work through it. Because once again, it could, in something that we don't know, I could have bad cholesterol, and that can be hereditary. That could be something that no matter what I do, it's going to still be high, right?
Right. Right.
So before he prescribed something, he's like, well, let's make sure that, hey, if you're able to do these things, and we had these conversations over, and I told him, look, I don't want to take a pill because this is what happens. I've seen what happens. Not get to the cardiologist. We had the same conversation. This is my first time speaking to him, but once again, it was a referral from my primary care physician. So I felt once we met, um, whatever. And so we had conversations for 4.5 years before I got any medication prescribed.
See. Yeah. That's the experience. Okay. That's
And
inspiring.
and he was more like, all right, I know part of it is kind of a liability thing because we live in a litigious state right now.
Right.
So
Right.
hey, I told him he need this to so if something happened, but it was also, he was just like, all right, look, we've been doing this for a minute. Your cholesterol hasn't changed, bro. So
Yeah.
what you gonna do? Like, I'm telling you, this is what I think. I know your thoughts on it. but just go see this man. Let's run a test. Let's make sure that you don't have any clogged arteries right now. That would be great. Test is $100. Do that. Talk to the cardiologist. And then this is what I think you should do. I did the things that he said because now he's got, he's provided value to me for over 4 years. He's listened to me. He hasn't been pushy on anything. He didn't just prescribe anything without having a conversation. And so there was some trust built there. Like, okay, now I know this isn't just and with my insurance, the pills are free.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it's, you know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of different factors that have made me say, and once again, I know this is not the experience of everybody, but I will say it's out there. You might have to look, you might have to do a little bit more searching than you want to, but you have to be an advocate for yourself, and you know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
And this is, this is probably maybe the last 7-8 years of my life where I've had this relationship with medical professionals. It wasn't always like this.
Right.
But now that I have it, I wouldn't have it any other way.
No perfect people, just better moves.